All right, ladies and gents, one and all, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of London Session. Hope you're all doing well, guys. And it is that time again, so without further ado, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening no matter where you are around the world. On this Monday, the 3rd of March, and what a big weekend it was, obviously, across in the Middle East, and what impact it's had so far today on the markets. Obviously, we're more focused on the metals here. Gold is obviously shot straight to the upside. It's made a little bit of a pullback within, but is now approaching the current daily candles high. So as always, guys, we will go over the gold. We will go over any other pairs per request. We'll have a look at German 40. But very important, guys, to keep attuned with the news, anything that breaks, because it's a wild world at the minute and there is a lot going on. So we need to be aware of anything breaking any point in time. So need to be aware that gold could make some crazy moves, but it looks like the volatility is just settled down for the moment anyway. So that's a good thing. But otherwise, let's take a look at the news, see if there is anything of scheduled to impact, which could impact our session here today. Nothing major. I've got some minor euro and pound news to come. Looking further into today's proceedings, though, do have some high impact news for the US dollar. If ISM services manufacturing PMI actually, so keep an eye on that. That likely will impact the markets. But guys, as I mentioned, you need to just keep attuned to what is breaking. So might be best to have a few different news outlets up in the tabs on your PC or on the phone or something, just in case you are trading and something is breaking. So guys, without further ado though, let's get into the analysis. If you could though, quickly hit the like button. Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button. Let's get the masses onto the stream. If you have any charts, any questions, any requests or anything, feel free to pop those into the chat and I will be sure to get to you all shortly. But nonetheless, guys, let's have a good one. We are here to analyze the charts, so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a look at the gold, and starting once again at that weekly time frame. So yesterday I didn't send in the weekend update. I normally do it on a Sunday with my team, but I thought with all that's going on, who knows what would happen. I mentioned on when the news broke, expect gold and the metals to go up, which is not rocket science, and pretty much everyone knew that, and it's exactly what it did. So as far as analysis for over the weekend, for me, wasn't much point doing it. I just want to see how today's session would, or how we play out early doors into proceedings in the new weekly. However, what we can see is the previous weekly ended up closing right up at its high, and the current weekly no lower wick. So are we going to pull back to create it? Not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see what we've got in between. On to the daily time frame here, and we're approaching the resistance here at the all-time high yet again. We are very bullish here. Again, counter probabilities being to the upside. I'm not going to mark in the daily low. We're so far off it for the time being, so I'm not going to bother. What I will do is though mark in the current daily candles high. See what we've got to the left of it. On the daily, we've got a little bit more margin. Not a great deal, but enough to look for some potential options. Let's make our way down to the 4-hour time frame here. And obviously that is still, guys, I know you're going to at me, and still technically bearish in all honesty, the way I see it. However, yes, we are trending bullish. We have within the trend itself, within the structure itself, I should say, we're trending bullish. We're creating high lows, higher highs. But as I mentioned, all throughout the last few weeks, none of that will change until we actually, the structure itself anyway, until we close above the all-time high yet again. But yes, we are trending bullish. So we'll obviously be using that as added confluence for buy options. And obviously the buys are what I'll be preferencing moving forward here today. Currently at that resistance, we will draw it in, but I will be adjusting it shortly, so don't stress, guys. I believe there is some clean traffic still to the left on the minor time frame. On to the support, well, we'll mark something in. Actually, I'll mark this in, but I'll be adjusting it. I'll be adjusting it shortly. So it's the 4-hour resistance. The 4-hour, we've not yet retested it, but we would have done so, I believe, on the minor time frames. All right, so we can see just there. So we'll shift this across. In fact, I'll just delete the support and I'll add in another level just here. I'll incorporate that level there down to this level here, and that's back below that, well, back at that 4-hour resistance. Now to the left hand side here, we can see once it loads, that above the current daily candle high, we actually have some clean traffic. So I'm about to shift this zone to the upside, and we'll create a new zone around the current price action. So we'll just quickly do that. And we know it is a 4-hour level, but we will just mark that in. I'm going to mark in the high. Normally I'll look for the highest point of any bearish candle at the resistance, but I'm going to actually include a bullish candle here, because seeing we are at that 4-hour level, and it is much cleaner once we pop above that to basically retest the high of the 4-hour level. So I'm just going to include that point for today. And what I want to see is, obviously, straight off the bat, even before marking in minor levels, is definitely continuation buys, guys. We have very clean traffic to left. But what I'm going to do is mark in most recent support, which is this zone here. Change that to blue, and support just below it, and I'll mark in that whole level, so around to the Asian range low. And to be honest, guys, very simple plan today. So as I mentioned, continuation buys above the high. We do have clean traffic within the 4-hour zone itself. Aside from that, what we're going to be looking for is potential pullback. So if price was to pull back to 33.50, psychological number, and at that point there, I would definitely be contemplating my opportunities to take a buy back up. And further options would be upon a deeper pullback, guys, towards that 33.25. So that quarter number, which again, to me is a psychological round number. So that is something that I would look for price to potentially do, pull back to that zone there, provide some sort of price action catalyst to look for my opportunity to perhaps take a buy. I know it looks juicy, it looks good and clean to potentially come back down below the Asian range low. Don't have a catalyst though, really, because not flipping any structure in the minor time frame technically. So to be honest, I'll probably avoid that if it was to eventuate, and look for buys back at that 4-hour resistance, but that we're far off it. So whoops, just accidentally switched over. So what I'll do is I'll just remove that level for the time being and focus on most recents. Remove that level for the time being, and it's a very simple plan for gold here today. So we just need to obviously wait for price to move to one of our 3 chosen levels for the time being, and then await some sort of price action catalyst from that point. Do we have any interruptions? So obviously I'm not going to have it in a 30. Have a look in a 1 hour. Potentially it could be a, not sure what I think about it though. Not a bad level actually. We'll see. We've got 17 minutes, 16 and a bit minutes remaining until this hour candle closes anyway. So that is the goal, guys. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Takes 2 seconds of your time to do that. And let's quickly look at the German 40. So there's a chart I drew up earlier for my team. It's moving into some clean traffic. Yeah, I think it would have almost tapped into a target here to the left hand side. German 40 to me is still quite bearish, open with a big gap to the downside. We'll flip the structure back bullish in the minor time frame. I would argue above the current daily candles high. Will obviously gap to the downside at the open. So if it was to break above the Asian range high, retest it and begin to pull away from it, that's the only point I consider a buy from. Otherwise I'd just be looking for sell. So sells, you're a bit late if you're not currently in one. But otherwise, if we were to wait for a pullback towards that 24.831, 35 sort of region, and look out for some resistance to form. So that would be my plan on German 40, but don't trade it, so I don't really care. Anyway, that is the market wrap up, the market update on those 2 pairs. Anyway, quickly look at silver actually. So silver, a bit more interesting. So it did obviously gap up. It actually came back down to below the open. Now it's hovering back above it. I do believe the Shanghai silver market opened with a massive gap to the upside, and did likewise. So I think there's about a $10 differential between the two. I'm not sure what the ticker is for that though. But yeah, silver. So silver is looking very similar to gold. Let's have a look at it. Above the current daily candles high to the left, let's just use the horizontal. Things a bit easier. We'll shift it across to the left. All right. Yeah, so silver's into some really clean traffic as well, all the way up towards that 99.50 to the 100 flat region. That's where potentially price could move to if it pushes above the current daily candles high. Oh, there's an interruption on silver as well. interruption entry on silver. Let's quickly look at a 30. Let's look at the 1 hour. It could be one on the 1 hour as well, surely. So that's the hourly interruption, potentially. This candle is not closed yet. And that's pretty much in line with the 15-minute. Okay, very interesting, guys. We could look for a silver interruption entry. Something I would consider. So, yeah, well, I mean, there could be a few potential entries moving forward shortly, guys. Silver is valid right now to look for a limit order buy. My broker's chart. Let me quickly look at what the price would be. And the good thing is it's a pretty small stop loss by the looks of it. So you're looking at 94,416 if you are with IC markets. 416. Spreads are not bad at the moment too, surprisingly. 2.2 pips on silver, which is very reasonable. You're looking at a stop loss of about 42 pips, so not all that bad, to be honest, guys. This potential silver trade here. So we'll just put it up here. Valid IC entry M15, and that will look pretty much like that, guys. It's what we could be potentially looking at here on silver. Let's say 416, but obviously it just depends on your broker as to what that point is, but it is valid. Back to the gold quickly and I'll get to you guys shortly. So there isn't one on gold. You kind of got a cluster one there, but it doesn't look that great, to be honest. I think what I like is the fact that silver's lines up with a 1 hour as well, surely, potentially. So perhaps if it's not triggered in prior to the hourly counter close, that would be a really good confluence to look at this, basically the 1 hour and 15 at the same time. So that is a potential option, guys. So we could be focused on silver a bit today. All right, in the meantime, let me say good day. Ahmed, welcome to you. Tony Gold, Grand Rising to you, my friend. Franco, hope you're well, brother. James, same to you. Dartman, yep, appreciate it. Give it a like. Sunbox Golden Legs, good morning to you. In like button straight, nice one. Jim, good morning to you, my friend. Brad, good afternoon to you. Tony Gold, possibly this rising can do EU, BTC, and ETH, please. This rising is in. Oh, what is going on is in the chart itself, or you're talking about what's going on overseas with what could possibly happen. What I'm going to do is set an alert on gold. I'm going to set an alert for the high. Who knows, gold could present too shortly, guys. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. All right. Yeah, we'll have to see where gold closes. In regards to actual analysis of EU, I did mention to my guys as well that likelihood back in the news from the weekend would be that to find the majors will cop it. Majors will cop it. And that's what I mean. Don't people focus on DXY. Money will go back into the US dollar and money will go into gold and the metals. So it's exactly what's happened. So if you look at DXY, I'm sure that'd be moving forward today as well. It is too. So there you go, guys. Do I not say it all the time? People say to me, look at DXY, it's going up, gold must be going down. Crock of shit. What a crock of shit it is. Proof. Right there. Look at it, guys, right there. Or there. There, that's it. You guys get it? Alright, so looking at EU anyway. So EU's on the way down. Now this level is a swing level I've got marked in, so that's what that's about. Kind of don't want to remove it, but it's just broken through a daily support and a very strong level. So what I'd be looking for is obviously for bit of a pullback. You've had a strong push to downside, so I wouldn't chase this sell just now. I'd be looking at most recent resistances, well, most recent levels of support, sorry, and look for price to reject it, so pull back up to 117.55 to 60 sort of region. Look out for some sort of price action catalyst. Yeah, I'd just be looking for a lower high pullback. Unless what it does now is I really want to retest that daily level at least, form a bit of consolidation below before I consider selling again as price begins to pop below it. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out with EU. I'd be struggling to look for buys. I think it's very strong bearish at the minute, plus with all that's going on. What was the other ones you asked about? BTC and ETH. BTC. All right, so I got to look them up. This is a new watch list, guys. So I haven't added crypto to it. BTC. So BTC, I think it actually initially went up, but it's just in heavy consolidation. I mean, for me, the actual news itself would be more risk off. So I would, you know, if you're asking me to choose a side, I would say it's more likely it's going to go down. But nonetheless, let's quickly look at the actual analysis on it. So the weekly still very bearish here. Daily, just calling up, so heavy consolidation. So obviously this is a build-up of cumulative liquidity into the markets. Whether or not it's going to break to the upside for it to perhaps create a lower high, pullback, or continuation to the downside remains to be seen. Very strong support though. The downside was pretty much tapped right into that 60k region, which is obviously a psychological number, and some heavy support to the left. So there is a chance we could pull back again, but there is, again, it's heavy consolidation. So every time it looks like it's about to come back up, it just gets dumped straight back down. 4 hour is very bearish and won't change until back above 76.80 roughly. So you're far off that flipping. Be marking, to be honest, I'd be looking at the higher points in the most recent areas. I'd be marking that in. And to downside, probably just mark that whole level in. And right now it's right in the middle on the high time frame here. So I would basically wait for price to get to either side of the range and look for opportunities. Would preference the sells, but it wouldn't make no sense to sell at the support. I look for the buys. As far as buys in between, I mean, there is no clean level. If you ask me in regards to the way I trade it, I would not be able to find anywhere solid to look for an entry. So I'd be looking for simply price to the lower, the better, make a clear move back towards the 63k region, or pull back up. Whereas I think I may have broken something. Or back up to that 69 to 68k region for potential rejection sells on Bitcoin. Yeah, I just don't see much in regards to, you know, clean price action. Looks very choppy to me. Quickly look at silver and gold, and then we'll get back to looking at Ethereum. So silver. All right, gold is still approaching that level. Let's have a look at ETH just quickly. But obviously it's going to be very similar to Bitcoin. So ETH, you got some support just here. Let's have a look at the 4 hour, just see if that is. I'll mark it in, yeah, because it is lowest point of bearish candle. It actually is lowest point of bullish candle on the minor time frame. So lowest point in the 4 hour and bearish, but to downside on the 15 is lowest point for bullish candles. Assuming it's very similar in the analysis, bearish again. And ETH looks like it's got potential room down to 1500 still. Daily, very similar to Bitcoin. I mean, it's the exact same sort of analysis. So anyone's guess where it could go at the moment. Very strong support. We're looking at to the left, lines up really well with some really strong support around that 1800 to 1700 sort of region. Absolutely no direction at all at the minute. So I would, same shit as Bitcoin, man. I would just wait for it to pop up or down and look to trade the 4 hour range at the minute, because it's just very choppy. I would preference sells, and I preference it upon the pullback either to 1980 or 2020 roughly. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. All right, so gold doesn't look like it's going to be valid. There is a 15-minute interruption presenting, but what I don't like about it, it's at the resistance. If it was at the resistance, but within the gray zone and pretty much at the same level as these wicks, then I would definitely consider that, because it'd be a retest of the zone as well, and we'd be closing above the resistance itself into clean traffic. Likelihood would be that the new candle would open up, and so pull back to that point, tag you in, and then retest that zone, and then continue bullish. So if that was to eventuate, definitely something we'll consider, but it's not. We've kind of got that here on silver at a minor zone. Tony Gold, sorry, type all good. Sunboss Golden Lens, thank you. Anytime you come online, you get the joy of learning new stuff. Nice one, mate. Good to hear. Always awesome. Thank you, my friend. McKendra bought XAU at 53.18. Should I book profit or wait? You should do what your analysis is telling you to do, mate. You're in some good profit, so don't be, you know, crazy greedy. At least trail your stop. All right, let me mark in VIP here, because at the end of the day, no one knows. I mean, I reckon, if you're asking me, I reckon it's going to continue bullish, but just because I think it's going to continue bullish doesn't mean it has to continue bullish. All right, so gold, we're picking up a bit of steam here. If we close above that horizontal, that's a strong, really strong close to me, for a potential continuation by above the resistance here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be closing above. So let's mark in the high for the bearish candle, which is the Asian range. For the time being, anyway, this is the last candle of the time frames I'm concerned about within the Asian range. Ahmed, if he can go up then, I do believe there's a good chance it could go up again. Oh shit, member, sorry. There you go, my team link is sent. All right, so I really want this to push up a little bit higher first. Want it to close a little stronger. I know it's a very strong close, but I mean, in regards to the actual level of resistance, the current daily high, wants to be up closer to it. So then we've got to travel a fair distance just to break above it, and we'll likely have a really wide stop. So we'll wait and see anyway, guys. We've got just under a minute. We can look at silver again. So again, could have an entry set here on silver, 94,416. Let's have a look at the 1 hour candle. Yep, so that looks really good on the 1 hour time frame, guys. I'm going to set the order just now. It's pretty much the 1 hour interruption along with the 15 here on silver. Quickly look at gold. Don't think it closed where we want it to close. No. So we just need to wait a little longer here on the gold. just a little weary of the spreads on silver, so I'm just keeping an eye on that, because if it does spike to that 6 pip mark or so where it has been for a lot of the, you know, the past few weeks, then it's probably not even worth it, to be honest. Did take a trade last Friday in the members only call on silver, pretty much the exact same setup. Wasn't as good a setup because it was fighting against a 30-minute, I believe, IC to the upside. IC sell, actually, I think it was buying it into that sell, or it could have been the opposite. Got to about 10, just around 10-11 pip profit, I think it was. Didn't choose to secure anything, and had it not been for the spread, I think it was around 5 or 6 pips at the time. I mean, it would have been probably enough to consider secure, and it turned out to be a small loss in the end. So that's one thing I keep track on before any entry on silver, is just if the spreads start to spike. At the moment it's 3.2 pips. That's not bad. That's all right for silver. See? You just reminded me, to be honest. Yeah, I'll jump on now. Got a thing there, I just forgot. What happened to our X there? Did I delete it? I'm sure it's disappeared, hasn't it? I didn't delete it though. Strange. All right, back to the gold. So gold has wicked back down. It's not tapped into the interruption. Some of my guys might be considering it. I just don't like where it's at. Here it is, and that's strange. So pop back up. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at, guys. I got a buy limit set now on silver. 94,416. Back at the high of this bearish candle. TikTok, welcome to you guys. Hope you're all well. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you're all safe and healthy. Don't forget to smash that screen for me. Any questions, feel free to ask, guys. We're looking at currently at silver. I've got a buy limit order set on silver. Also did the analysis here on gold. Gold just didn't quite close at the level I want it to close at, so I'm just chilling on gold for the time being and waiting a little longer. But otherwise, the analysis on gold is just pretty much straightforward. To look for continuation buys above the high. Hasn't quite closed where I want it to close, to look for the impulse entry. If anyone wants to take it, I understand. It's just I'm following my rules. It's not tick the box for the impulse entry. Otherwise, I'm just looking for a pullback buy. Closures above or pullback buys, whether it be at 32.50 or 32.25, remains to be seen. But that's pretty much what I've been looking at moving forward today. Those who've just joined on TikTok. But currently we have, or I have, buy limit set here on silver. What about GU? Probably, yeah, similar to Euro. GU is at a very strong support on the daily time frame though, so Euro has passed through it, whereas GU's at one. So within it, let's see if there is clean traffic though, and maybe on 15 here. Let's hone in a little bit. All right, so on the 15, you've got, I would be marking that. It looks pretty clean below the other horizontal, just a tad below it. All right, GU options, interruption entry. If this closes pretty much where it's at, could have potential limit order sell on the interruption trade. Otherwise, I'd be looking for a pullback because again, it's overextended. It doesn't mean it can't drop, but I wouldn't want to chase it after it's had such a significant move. So I'd rather wait for a pullback or some proper consolidation again prior to session open. And if it closed below, it could be a cue to look for some continuation sells. But the interruption play could present soon on GU. That's probably the better bet. Gold looking very ominous here. Looks like it could pump, but have to wait. I was watching market open today. Pretty much exactly as to be expected. To be honest, guys, you really need to be careful at the minute because anything could happen, anything could break. I do believe, apparently, I've read not long before the stream that China apparently are now in Iranian waters. So pretty sure you know what side they'd be on soon, is on the American side. So things could get really interesting. But again, the back of all that, I do believe there's a higher chance gold's just going to continue bullish. Don't be surprised if all-time highs are taken out anytime soon. Be today, maybe later in a week. Could be in 5 minutes. Who knows? Really don't know anything that's breaking. There is, I discovered a really interesting, I think it's crypto related website that keeps finger on the pulse of the news. You can also place bets, I think, as to the likelihood of certain scenarios happening. It's interesting. I'm called glint.com. Not sure if you guys have heard of it. Gold is pumping. Discovered that over the weekend, and that was very fascinating. All right, so let's see in the next just under 7 minutes. In the meantime, silver is not pulling back, so the buy limit may be scrapped soon. The trade's been since 5,000. Nice one. The most gold lens, yep, but it's also pulling back just now. So if you took a breakout, I hope you're quick to manage it, because this is why I don't take it unless it's absolutely perfect. And for me, the perfection would have been if that closed higher into the zone, which it didn't do. Crazy, but can be a trap. It could be a trap, or it could just continue to pump just now. So yeah, it looks like it's going to try to continue bullish here. So let's see also in a 5 minute what may be presenting. So it'd be really nice if the next candle can in fact close weak bearish and retest this resistance. Oh no, upper wick. So there is a chance that that could happen actually. All right, so we'll see. I mean, if this 5 minute candle can close back weak bearish, tapping into the resistance, then buy stops are valid above the high of the 15 minute candle, which would have closed above. Then you had a fresh evaluation account. Took sell at Shanghai Open and banked 700. Okay, interesting. Yeah, the markets did pull back at the Shanghai Open. Which is what they've been doing a lot of. Well, it's pretty much, I think, every day since the China markets reopened after the Chinese New Year. Shanghai has actually dumped the price of gold and silver right at the open. So that's an hour after Tokyo Open. All right, Gold's trying. Gold is trying to validate a potential buy on the following candle. A lot our country busy in war against Afghanistan. I'm from Pakistan. Pray for humanity, Justin, because you're right. I wish you all the best, mate. I did hear also about that. Yeah, and I hope you guys are safe, and yeah, I wish you all the best. It's never good war, you know, no matter where it is. Yeah, I mean, it's sad that few people in power can decide the fate of, you know, the rest of the country and that. So it is very sad, and I wish you, you know, all the best, mate. I hope you stay safe. Anyone over in, you know, the Middle East to buy in that? I know there's quite a lot of traders out in Dubai. Wish them all luck. Don't think it's that crazy there, but who knows? Anything could happen. Gold flipping now. It's not what we want. It's likely silver's going to continue, but all good. If that's the case, we chill and we come up with a new plan for potential entry. Laura, good day to you. Bit late. Just go home. All good. You haven't missed anything just yet. Gold broke out from not exactly where I wanted to break out from. Now I'm just waiting to see how first of all this candle closes. And it doesn't look like we're going to get that 5-minute analyst just here, so likely gonna have to wait, guys, for a proper pullback. You're in it, well done. I'm happy for you. Just be, you know, don't be too greedy. It doesn't necessarily have to create the new all-time high now. Could do it though. At least have your stop trailing in some profit. Some muscle lands. I hope peace is restored soon, hopefully, but I mean, I can't see it happening, to be honest. Apparently they've come and announced Iran that they'll have a new supreme leader over the next 24 to 48 hours or something. So it's just, as soon as they get rid of one, the next one steps up. So I believe it's going to be something that lasts for a bit, unfortunately. It's going to make things rather volatile. Make stop losses very wide because these candles are huge. T trades, gold go crazy. April will be 7,500. Could be. I'm very bullish on gold as well. I got a target of over 10k on gold, to be honest. So Malenza, we buy. Look, not just yet. Silver also pumping. Now they're gonna be a valid 15-minute play on silver, a little bit higher up, so that could be the next bet, guys. It's the high of 95,217. Let's just stop on it. 40, about 47.5 pips, 48 pips roughly. Well, so there's a valid interruption play on silver here. Now gold obviously is closed above, but we have not retested. So on gold, I'm not going to chase this move, guys. I don't have a valid entry. It's just not my move at the minute. But silver, there is now an interruption a little bit higher up. So valid silver limit order buys now running out of margin, but you could still safely get a 1-to-1. So depending on your broker's chart, you need to line up what is the highest point of this particular pause candle. That could be your potential entry point. Now, if it is to remain valid, this candle, it's important that this candle does not tap into the target. Taps into the target, my concern would be that we may reject a little bit stronger. If we are to reject, come back down further. If that is the case, then I still believe the one lower down would be a good entry point at 94,416 on my broker's chart. So valid entry again on silver, a little bit higher up on the interruption. OJ, what am I looking at? Looking for a limit order buys on silver at the minute. The Google's gone crazy. Yeah, I mean, it was to be expected, to be honest. I think pretty much every bloke and their dog would have thought that gold is going to pump today. So okay, going at 53.89. Nice one. Just the issue is stop loss in a minute, guys. No way I could place stop below that previous count, the current candle. Sorry, previous candle is an almighty stop. Paraffin, good day to you. You're in from 48.60. Nice one. You CP 6500. Happy for you, mate. Well done. All right, so silver, we're watching silver. Don't want it to tap into my zone here. If it does, then definitely remove, well, I will definitely remove this limit order. The Googles just never sell gold, guys. Not a wise thing to do really at the moment, is it? Especially physical. Wow. Yeah, wow. This thing's off. So for me, again, this is just not my move, guys. By stopping the high, to be honest, I probably would have ended up in a loss on that or break even, because it did pop up 15, 20, 30 pips, I think it was, pretty quickly. Whether or not you would have been able to secure, because it popped right back down. So who knows, but irrespective, if it pumps right now, not much I can do. Paraffin up 5 yearly wages of average people. Just be humble, mate. Be humble, because mate, if anything comes out and all of a sudden gold shits the bed, you could be down that. So just be humble. I'm happy for you, but you know, I've flipped an account already this year. But yes, it's great, but still, you need to be humble, because you can get humbled very quickly in these markets, especially right now. Sylvia, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you to new followers as well. Some of Scotland, hope pizza store. Yeah, read that before. McKendra, I think Asian market is good for trading as it manipulate very little as compared to MY session. Yes and no. I mean, I don't get me wrong, Asian session is fantastic. It's I think the best session to trade, in all honesty. But it is also manipulated. At times you'll see the Chinese markets absolutely buying the crap out of it, and there are big players there. There'll be times when they want prices low and they will dump it. So I just think price action is cleaner. I think you can get more moves. Oh man, so gold is just gonna continue to tear, but all good. Some loss gold lens is strong candle. Hope it closes strongly, but stop loss will be so wide. Yeah, it's just a matter of waiting for a bit of a pullback, guys. 15 GU is valid. So the sell limit on GU. Yep. You got an interruption sell on GU that we mentioned before. Everything I was planning on going to Dubai, but with what's going on now, thinking time, be neighbors. Who knows, mate?
Hi, Jason.
How are you, brother? How's it going?
I'm good. How about you?
All good, mate. All good. What's going on?
Yeah, just the pace. Everything is just going crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's making it very difficult to get involved. Lucky enough, I got involved earlier. I took a trade on EU, and the full city got hit. But now looking at it, it feels like damn.
Yeah, I know, but hey, how do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like at least you took profit, so
yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I got one. Let me see what was that margin. I got like I don't know. Because my stop loss was actually very tight, so
yeah,
it wasn't that much.
it's a good thing about EU. You can get very tight stop losses.
Yeah, my stop loss was like 6 pips, and then I got a total of like 17 pips of it. So
Okay.
When I went out, I stepped out, so I took the trade, then I stepped out. By the time I came back, already you passed my CP, so
That's all right. At least, I mean, at least you didn't go past your stop loss. That's a good thing.
That happens sometimes. So
There you go.
actually, because I think my CP was just down here where it dropped the blue zone.
Oh, okay. Back to
yeah. And then I took it just above where you have like the dodgy 15-minute slows, and then not down, way down.
Oh, here.
Just above it. Yes.
All right. Yep.
So as the other candidate grabbed the liquidity from the above, as it break the low, I took the entry.
Yeah, nice one.
My stop loss was above that 15.
Nice use of price action.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate. Good work. Now I just need to wait again for it to set up.
Exactly. Actually, I was looking for this interruption up here, but I was hoping I had a trade there, but then when I saw like it rejected before tapping
Up there.
once it break the loop, that dodgy candle, I'll take a market entry.
Yeah, there's one on GU as well. Silver's still valid, guys. Silver, the entry higher up is still valid. You may even have another one. See, I'm surely on the M30 here on silver. Crazy how often they present these days. The good old interruption play. Sylvia, reckon gold will go for all-time high in close future. I reckon there's a good chance it will. Michael, was your Discord? It's in my profile, mate. On my profile page, the links to all that stuff is there. RFM market open. I closed my buys from 51.66. Nice one. Barn Island, build bunk underground city. Good luck, mate. Been used since Star Trek, so good out. I'm happy for you. Very happy for you, but again, I remember those phases. I remember I was saying the same shit to myself and I got humbled big time. But just don't be too cocky, mate, because the markets can really come back to haunt you. I wasn't as cocky as that, put it this way, but I did think at that, at one point I had made it. No losses to come. I mean, in regard, I knew it was going to take trading losses, but not longer term losses in regards to like the week, that type of thing. And you can get humbled very quickly. So I'm happy for you, and I wish you the best. But again, just be careful. All right, silver again. We don't want it to tap into the target here. But when I first joined you, all you said was silver buyers. Now look at it. I still was right, mate, because silver was back at like $20 to $30 at that point. Look at it now, more than 3 times that. It did get up to $120 odd. It'll get past there easy. You watch, that will. Silver is still extremely bullish. It will outpace gold eventually again. Muscle on ledge should retrace here. Gold. Yeah, it can do anything. I mean, it's should, could, would. You do anything. Don't expect anything. Just react to what you see happen. So it's in some pretty clean traffic, to be honest, on the minor time frame here anyway. So it could even continue up to 54.50 before it retraces. But yes, there is a chance it could just pull back to create a higher low now. Silver is trying, guys. So again, this entry higher up is valid. And the 30-minute could be valid, but I would stick to the 15. It's going to give you a bit more margin. So the 30 is valid on the continuation interruption. The 15-minute at the minute is valid on potentially the delayed interruption, because it's not going to tag in the next 2 minutes. Paraffin, you're in silver with 500 leverage. Really safe position, holding till 500. Okay, nice one. Not sure if we'll get to 500 anytime soon, but I do have conviction it'll get past there eventually. Gosh, M30. Oh shit, it has to. I mean, the 15 still looks good, but that is a slight concern. Well, that would mean the 30-minute one's not valid. 15-minute one still could though. You could still argue it's valid because it is actually still got a bit of margin on the 15-minute time frame. The best one in this scenario is definitely the one lower down, in case it does make a bit of a stronger pullback. That lines up perfectly with the previous resistance. So to be honest, that is actually the better play at the minute. Yeah, that's something I need to contemplate as well, because again, we have tapped into the 1 hour, we have tapped into the 30-minute resistance. Let's have a look. It could be what is a 4-hour bearish candle as the market open. Lines up with some support. Oh, Jesus, look at that. It's not quite tapped into that. You've got a 4-hour interruption to the downside here. Massive stop loss. Maybe a mini swing trade, guys. 96,150 roughly is an entry point. I'm not sure what it is in my brokerage chart. I'm not sure if I really want to short silver or gold though at the moment. Yeah, all right. It's hard to ignore that resistance is tapped into. So I mean, it's valid, but the better option is definitely the one here, 94,416. So I reckon that's the one I'll stick with, to be honest. One lower down. Just in case it does reject and come back down further, this definitely looks to be of a place, a level that price could pull back to. So to me, that one makes definitely more sense. That one's still going to be valid. Gold, all right, gold looking like it could potentially exhaust here and make its way back down to the resistance. So gold also would still get an option here on gold. Now there's a delayed interruption here on gold, which is way down low. That could be something you guys could perhaps keep an eye out on later into trading, into today's trading. Look at the other time frames as well. Let's look at the 2 hour, see if there is anything there. All right, there is. No, it's already been tapped into. Ben, if I start with mum money, you know, start. I think you need to probably, you have to be very careful, and as long as your mum is willing to let you lose that money, because if you're starting, you know, as a beginner, the likelihood is you are gonna probably lose what you put in initially. So just don't run your mum's bank dry, whatever you do. I would suggest just to learn the craft. I always recommend live testing, so on a tiny account, just so you get the feel of it. Like, yeah, maybe even a 1 cent lot. There is pretty much no emotion attached, but still, it's live money. Demo trades, you just go, let me see. I'll just open a trade, and you don't give a shit. You really don't give a shit, and you can easily sometimes flip an account for that. But reality is, if you were to trade that same amount of money on a live account, you're going to start to get emotional about things. If you, then you might let it go into bloody 10k drawdown, or and not worry about it on a small scalp, and just let it come back and buy in again, whatever. You're not going to do that on a real account, on a live account. So I always suggest forward testing to all my team. But there's nothing wrong with back testing if you don't want to risk real money first. That's all good. Yeah, so I mean, irrespective of the 1 hour and 30 minute, 15 is about to tap into target as well. So definitely this is the better option on silver. And gold, you know, just chill at the minute. Ahmed, how about GJ? GJ, I just look for swings on it. I don't trade it. So I don't scalp it anyway. Weekly, I'd argue it's weak bullish, long upper wick. Daily, bearish counter probability, so back of that, potential for further downside here towards that 208.50 sort of region. 4 hour is bullish in structure. You could almost argue that's a swing though, and say it's bearish. Maybe on different brokers you'll have a consecutive counter pullback right there, but if I'm to be technical about it on this particular chart, I'd have to say it's bullish. Very choppy in heavy consolidation, tapped into some resistance here to the left and bounced straight back off it. So I mean, zones are marking in 15. It's a real mess, to be honest. All right, so the Asian range high, I'd be marking that whole level in. Yeah, I'd be using that. And for any buys above it, you want to see price first of all break above the Asian range high, retest the resistance, and then begin to pop back above and do some clean traffic up to 210.80 sort of region. So there's enough margin potentially there. Otherwise, what I'd be looking at is just simply pull back sell. So look to areas of interest. To the left, you've got this level here at 210.50, sorry, 210.05 roughly. That could be a potential level price pulls back to. It's the most recent support it broke out of. As though what you need to consider has already retested it, so may not necessarily do that. So be looking for be awaiting a catalyst as opposed to placing a sell limit, or be looking to sell on a deeper pullback. On continuation, actually is pretty clean, so there is no real zone here. But yeah, I would say sells below 20, let me mark it in, 209,460 roughly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And gold, the volume has just died off. TikTok guys, don't forget also to make sure to jump across and sub to YouTube channel. I don't stream as long on TikTok. Some days I won't even bother streaming on TikTok, so be sure to jump across and sub to the YouTube channel. Exact same profile name. You get the full screen, you get the price scale, you get everything, so it's probably in your best interest. Plus I start the stream on YouTube about half an hour earlier. Alright, so just waiting on gold to pull back here. Meantime, guys, I'll be back in one moment. I need to prepare something quickly for my dinner, actually, so don't go anywhere. Alrighty guys, apologies. Danny's still watching even if I can't turn on audio. Waiting for a move down, testing that swing high. Can't turn on audio, that's an FM8, so for that, I'll thank you. I'll type that into the chat. So you know I read your comment. $392, nice level. J0151 away. Let me read that. Hold on, the chat says shifted. Wait to get in on the 5392 retest. Dropped my phone under the couch and it shot up. I was fuming. Yeah, it happens, mate. Training bloopers. Favorite what point? On pullback. So preferably around that 53.90 to 93 region. The most gold lens, thank you, mate. As am I. Silver, on the other hand, is going up. Gold is retracing. Alright, so there's an interruption here on gold back below the resistance. None other. That's and then 1 hour. The 1 hour was also pretty nice one. I mean, guys, sometimes it is as simple as just buying with gold when you've got, you know, events happening around the world. Today would have been one of those occasions. I'm sure a lot of people actually did it. Dubs, watch your trading. Nice one, mate. Very patient trader, so price needs to be where I want it to be before I consider anything. We'll watch you trading. Sorry, mate, I totally misread that. Gold, XAUUSD spot gold. 67 might not hold though. 67 lines up with a 1 hour interruption. Alright, so that is a strong sell catalyst, but I'm not interested in selling it. You got bearish engulfing. Previous candle has a long upper wick. Good chance if this candle breaks the low of the previous candle, we could actually head back down to 59.93. But I'm focused on buying. That's what I'm gonna wait for, potential buy setup. Alright, so we've just formed minor resistance at this point. could we perhaps get a valid interruption here on gold if prices to close bullish engulfing? Let's wait and see. And we do still have clean traffic to the left as well here on gold. Dang, that's fair enough. I totally understand that. Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's see on gold. And this is leading into London Open. All right, so this is gonna make things a little more interesting. Wait and see, 12.5 minutes. I lost golden lens. I don't know why I'm finding it difficult to trust my own analysis. I will analyze well, but always scared to enter or play out. Any advice? Journaling and knowing that, you know, what you do is correct. Like you said, most part your analysis is correct. So seeing that, knowing that, if you were to journal it, you might have the confidence to trust yourself more. So by journaling, you might discover that you've got like a whatever it is, 60, 70, 80% win rate. And then off the back of that, again, that will just give you more confidence to know that what you're doing is correct. Also help you to distinguish between what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And I always say focus more on your strengths and just put to bed the weaknesses. Don't need to be a jack of all trades. That is literally one of the titles in my course that I create. You choose what resonates with you, what particular entry types, and just focus on them. The ones you understand the most, the ones that you proven already through your journaling and that are the most beneficial for you. That is definitely what I would recommend. Everyone goes through, or most people go through that phase. I went through it as well. But I mean, the good thing is you're halfway there if your analysis is on track. Lifestyle, thank you for lifestyle product ready. Thank you for sharing live. Jo151 5420. Structure retest entry 5392 entry looks good to me. 5420. See, I see. Look, it's continuation. It's not breaking structure. It's already bullish. I know everyone sees it differently, so that's fair. No problem. Danny bought at 5,300. Nice work. Don't take a loss. Australia stop into profit. Because if, for instance, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Seem quite persistent, but if Iran decides that they come out and ceasefire, they're going to lay down their weapons, stop their nuclear arms, or the manufacturing of it, stop producing it, then risk is on, and metals, gold in particular, is going to make a really big pullback. So always need to be managing things and be wary of, especially such crazy times, anything could happen. Danny, that's extremely risky. I don't recommend that, but good luck. Health, thoughts on London session? Generally speaking, it's shit. I know that's not what you're asking. Potential interruption entry here. So if we close strong bullish engulfing, we could have buy limits at a high bearish candle. But we'll see. Otherwise, I would really love for price to pull back down to retest that zone, form a support back at it, and look for buys. But we do whatever it wants to do. Doesn't have to do that. We may still have continuation buys, but we're going to need to be very strict with it. So new candle will have to have an upper wick, lower wick, sorry, and then break above the catalyst candles high. If it is to be a catalyst, at the minute we're pulling back, so we could make it deeper pullback. Silver, I have a buy limit set for 94,416. Text has disappeared. It will come back in a minute. There we go. It's valid on what we call the interruption candle entry. So the 15-minute ones, guys, the closest ones, well, this one no longer valid because literally tapped into the target. This one I don't mind. It's a retest of a previous resistance. It's the delayed one, so it's good potential pullback zone for silver, I believe, before it may continue back up. So to me, this one's still valid, 94,416. I will leave that buy limit in. Dan, totally. Gold been pushing, exactly. Danny, got a risk for biscuit. That's fair enough. Moving to break even because it's a bit too risky. Oh, sorry. Well, at least you're not being greedy and not being stupid about it, so nice one. Happy to hear if you guys are doing well, even if I'm not in a trade or if it's the opposite end of my trade. Sometimes it happens. All right, so that's a $11 candle at the minute from the low to the high, or high to low. So yeah, for the continuation, we definitely need the close above. We need a decent low wick, probably back towards below this zone, and then as it flips and breaks the high of what could be the catalyst, that could be your entry. If I took GJ sells. Okay, on the break of that candle. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's not a bad trade, mate. And it looks like you've had decent profit on the table. I'm not sure if you secured anything off the back of the rejection. Yep, I mean, as far as the catalyst, you probably, you know, had the reason to sell it. It's above the below the 50. I mean, technically speaking, that it is valid, but below 0.302 is where we really would love for it to close below. But it's still technically valid. It's in the course there. If it's below the 50, we can consider it to be a weak close, and perhaps it's just grab liquidity, in this case the upside, for it pushes to the downside if it broke. So it's a nice one, man. Gold looks like it could have run out of steam for the time being. Nor Amiz, are you in on a trade right now? No, I'm not in any trades at the minute. Danny down to 67. Would not be a bad thing if it did. Stop loss on silver trade. So stop loss is below the interruption candle, as per the rules. So I've got to actually set 93,983 on my actual chart. 93,983. And this is pretty much the favorite entry of my team. The interruption. For me, I love it when it lines up with an actual level of resistance as well. It's even higher probability in my opinion. That's why I'm happy to leave that one in. just remove these levels for the time being. We'll leave that horizontally so we know it's a 1 hour interruption entry level. 740 continuing to downside here. Let's have a look at GU. Oh, geez, it got close. Got so close to tagging the interruption in, and look at it since. So it's happened quite a lot of late. We're speaking amongst the members and I. What we're seeing a lot of time of late gets within like a pip, and then just without tagging it before it tags in, it reverses. So a bit frustrating at times, but it's just all part of it. All right, so gold now looking really good. If it broke the low of the previous candle, then I do believe there's a high chance of it popping down further. So look, I'd love for it to pop down quickly. We'll see though, because we are coming to the London session. I'd really love for this thing to actually tap into this. So scary stories. I reckon it'll be a sell. Good luck, my friend. Tony took profit. Nice one. My buy zone is 53.93. Actually, better yet, the Asian range high 53.90. Love for price to tap into that point. Release, that's pretty much what I'm waiting on. So the Asian range high prior to the Frankfurt Open. It was 53.88. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty much the exact same as very close to the level I've just marked in. Unreleased, all good. J0151, 53.90 for me too. Nice one. Yep. It's a good level. So we're approaching London Open here, guys. Silver continues bullish. So it's not pulling back yet to the limit order point, which for those who have just joined, for me it's 94.416. The highest point of this pause candle. So whatever that is for you, on your brokerage charts, what you could look at if you understand it, you agree with it. Those who watch me in a regular would understand this entry and know how it's a very high probability entry. Bit of a tight stop loss though in this one, but all good. Re-roll that. And gold a minute, it's not going to present on the interruption, and doesn't look like it's going to present on the continuation. So once again, look guys, if you want a counter trend entry, this is presenting a cracking one potentially. Weak pause, so similar to what we just went over on GJ, this is likely going to close though below the 0.382 by the looks of it. So that would suggest to me it's a very weak candle. So it's a weak support, and what we've perhaps done is grabbed upside liquidity. So if new candle open up, right up a week and begin to break low, there's a high chance of price heading back down to that 53.94, 93 and lower potentially. But I'm bullish. My focus is to look for buyers. I'm going to be patient. Popped up a little bit higher actually. Oh, it's popped above 0.382, so it's, yeah, not as high probability if it does retrace now. The shit closed, in all honesty. Hopefully don't drop your phone on cash this time. The worst is when your bloody internet fails or you just lose connection for a split second when you're in a scalp. AWS Multimedia? No. Alright guys, just give me a minute. I'll be back real quick. I just need to check. Check the old man. All right, guys, sorry. Can you actually, can't do that, can you? MC5. I'm sure you can't install that on a watch. So this thing's rejecting. Looks like it could come back down further. Silver is also rejecting, so maybe later on the interruption will come into play. It's literally tapped into what would be my target for the trade, the overall target. Learning skill for self? No, not for me. A lot of updates going on in the VIP, especially it's the swing part of things, the intraday trading side of things. Putting together my version of intraday trading into a course. Doing more regular analysis and be calling more trades for longer term trades as well. Looking forward to all that. The guild is going to be a long week. It's going to be a interesting week. Sure, I'm going to wake up, you know, a few times throughout this week in the morning and see something huge has happened on in the markets. So more likely it's going to be gold and the metals pumping, the majors dumping. And just a quick reminder to my team who are on this call and watching the chat, don't forget guys, it is Education Monday, so any questions, drop it into the chat if you can, or DM me as soon as you possibly can. I can prepare it for the call. Otherwise, make sure to join if you can and ask on the call itself. Z bias. I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's definitely bullish here on gold. Can you actually upload or download whatever MetaTrader onto a smartwatch? I didn't think it was possible. That would be way too hard though. Come on. Yeah. That would be, exactly. It would be bloody stressful. It's a lot more user-friendly now on the phone, I must admit. Yeah, it's a lot better. Still don't really recommend it, but look, for the swing side of things, it's fine. No problem, as long as you know your levels and what you want to see. The scalping, look, you can do it, but especially with gold, the volatility at the moment, because there is that split second, I use this. It's just a calculator which allows me to set my orders and manage my trades at a click of a button. So by the time you actually do that on your phone, I mean, you can close positions pretty quickly. But if you're looking at the chart view and then you go to close it, got to obviously prompt you to, do you want to close your trade in such profit or loss or whatever at the time, and you're going to click the button. In those split seconds, things can change. It's the way gold is at the minute. So it's a lot easier to trade on the PC or a laptop. Anthony, so that's what you want to do. Good luck. Apart from the initial breakout, it's not much is happening, and it's pretty ordinary. Yeah, silver definitely looking the better option. GJ popping back up. GJ could bounce at this point. You just need to pull back. Same as GU, pretty choppy price action in a minute. GA, it's not a trade I took, guys. It will never be valid in the end, because this pretty much had to happen prior to what's happening today. So this is a chart I actually sent in as what I wanted to see happen, but unfortunately never hit that halfway point before it did this. So to my guys, I'll explain why it would never have been valid by the end of it. Pretty simple. It's because it ends up closing back below zone, so that never eventuated. EJ, that's these levels are a bit, they're not correct actually. I've got to fix all this. JO151 interruption. So it's basically just a pause with an impulse. So I mean, sometimes it's at support. You could consider that what we call a cluster. So it's basically you have a bit of an impulse where it'd be up or down, and then you have a pause candle in between, and only for it to be engulfed. So the continuation interruption is when price acts. So it's valid here. Had it been above the resistance, so it's right at the resistance, so it's not valid based on that. But if traffic's clean to the left, or it eventuated basically right at, like above the bodies here, then what I do is I open a buy limit in anticipation this candle will likely, there's a good chance, could pull back to create a slow wick, tap into that level and continue. Something we see happen regularly. Happened here, would have got the chocolates done, you know, or home the chocolates on this one. Impulse, pause, continuation, buy limit, taps in, continues. Happens regularly across the board on different pairs. It's valid on all different time frames. I don't trade the 5 minute though. I don't really trade anything lower than 15. It's the cluster one as well, which is more, this one's more of the cluster one because it's at a level of previous resistance consolidation. Similar thing. Nice clean candle, pause, continuation. That's the interruption. So when you're looking for the interruption, you gotta see what level you're at and what's to the left. Could be a delayed one here on gold. Okay. I see someone German 40. 24,829. I suppose just what the point is on your broker chart. That the 15 minute or not sure what time frame is. Can't see one on the 30. I can't even see one on the 15 to be honest. And 15, so it must be your broker chart. I mean, it's already played out though. I'm assuming your broker's chart was maybe that's a bearish candle, and therefore you would have had an interruption just there, but this candle would have validated the interruption. It's not a strong close, to be honest. It's not something I'd really be looking at. Breeze and beans, because I mean, you would have been safe. You would have been a shit ton of drawdown though. But when it closes so close to the low in this case, when it pulls back to create the upwick, you're likely going to be stuck in some pretty significant drawdown. That's why I'd rather kind of like this close even stronger. So therefore the pullback, you might still be in a bit of drawdown, but nowhere near as much as what you would be on this candle. And you anticipate it's going to, you know, reject and continue bearish. Let's see, in the next minute and a bit, we want this thing to close very strong. Look at the 5 minute as well. So 5 minute kind of consolidating, not looking great. We really want to be above this resistance, and we want it to be a strong close above. Just remember guys, it's very early into proceedings still. Man, like, it'd be interesting to see what goes on during the MI session. Yeah, 151. So more confluence when it's resistance support too. Yeah, even more confluence. Exactly. Been trying new strats. Been introduced to HVF trading, which is extremely difficult. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with obviously trying to learn a thing or two. I mean, this one it's a very simple one to follow. Some of the guys been absolutely killing it just trading that particular entry. Ahmed, you're buying GJ. I'll check it in when this count closes in 10 seconds. Doesn't look like it's going to validate a buy at the minute. Not a strong close, so let me check. Yeah, let's check GJ. You're gonna buy, okay. Yeah, you got a bit of positive in price action here. With that close stronger, there could have been an interruption based off that too. Let's just quickly look at it through the other time frames though. Is that tapped into anything? To me, it looks like it still potentially could come down a little bit further before it bounces. But having said that, it is at a 4-hour support, so it could bounce from this point. The way I see it, I wouldn't have an entry here. But again, I'm very picky, very strict. And I would still focus on the pullback for a sell. I still see this thing as being more bearish at the minute. So, does it mean your analysis is incorrect? Does it mean mine is incorrect? But what I would do is, again, I just follow my plan. And that would be for price to pull back to either 210.05 or even higher up, back within the area above that, and look for a low high to form, and then for sell signal.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, mate, let's go on.
What's your thought on UJ? Can you take a look at it? Let's see.
Yeah, UJ. You got perhaps a valid interruption shortly. Is that a resistance? Is that a level here? This level is not correct too. I'm not sure what's going on here, mate. I had issues on Friday with this last week. This is an old area, but anyway, let me have a look quickly. So it's definitely at some resistance, so not going to be necessarily the best level to look for buys unless it's clean within it. Let's quickly mark some zones in. Let's have a look at top down. So weekly, strong bullish. Current candle already is a high, low, high, high to the previous, but it is pretty much at the resistance. Daily, it's forming some nice structure here. Structure itself though is technically bearish, but you do have candle probabilities being to the upside, but again you're pretty much tapped into the resistance. So this is likely one of those ones where, irrespective of the bias, which seems to be at this stage a little more bullish than bearish, you could argue that this is still bullish as well on the 4 hour. But you gotta ask yourself where you are at on the chart, and to me you're right hard pressed against the resistance. So unless there's clean traffic on the 15, I'd find it hard to look for buys here. I'd be looking for pullback buys or a sell. There is actually some clean traffic here on the 15. The tiny zone. Let's just shift back to the left here. Alright, so it is very clean. Just a bit late though, if not already in a buy, so I'd look for the interruption. You got a delayed interruption on the 15 here. I'd be looking for that as a possible entry point. 157 lines up with psychological round number, or otherwise I'd just be looking for support to form back on a pullback to that point. What was your thoughts on it?
No, I was looking at that interruption, but I was not quite sure about it. Because I'm not trading it actively yet. I've been testing it on my testing account. So
Yeah.
earlier I didn't take a trade on it. I was testing this interruption channel there. I took a trade on it a little bit down on the M30. Right at the open.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
That one. Okay, it would have worked, but it would have had a bit of drawdown.
Yeah, it worked perfectly. I just when it formed, I was still awake, so I set the entry, then I went to bed.
Yeah.
I woke up when it hit this video already because I had put the take profit at the high.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, I've not tested out much on the currency pairs, so it'd be great if you guys did. Yeah, but now I mean, I think it still looks good.
Why I was a little bit this one currently. I was looking a little bit skeptical about it because of the
Forex.
next, after that bearish candle from the next two candles, it did not quite close engulfing. Neither
Yeah.
those like
No, they're all. Yeah.
So I look at it. Usually when I have that, I have some doubts, so I don't turn to try to take it.
Yep. No, I totally understand that. I still think it's not bad, especially if it's 30 and you're not going to get tagging by looks at on this candle on the 15. So yeah, if this 30 closes strong, it looks a lot better in the 30. What about the 1 hour? No, it's nothing in the 1 hour. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. You should probably look at slightly higher entry as well, a tad higher, and it's pretty much tapping into the 5-minute consolidation again. So I'd focus on the 30-minute one. It's just, I mean, you could have, it's pretty much the same entry anyway, to be honest. Gold is just gonna do nothing at the minute by the looks of it. So I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna go and have my dinner, to be honest. I'd just be waiting for the pullback. That's all I'd be waiting for. Pullback, I would really love it to tap in. Sorry. Yep.
Before you go on something,
yep, go for it.
I think there is a very good interruption there formed on the M30 on GU. I don't know what's the take on that on GU on the M30.
If this here, you mean if it closes?
Yeah, that closes strong like that, I think, but it's really close to the lows now, so I don't think there is that enough.
I'd go for the 15-minute one here, just a tad higher up. Oh, it's only recently been valid, so it's not been retested. I reckon it's a better option. Because it's going to be open with the hourly as well. Sorry, no, it's not. The hourly is already closed, hasn't it? I would still, I reckon I'd go for the 15. It's already created quite a significant push. So the 15, you're gonna make a little bit more of a pullback. Yeah, I reckon I'll go for that, to be honest.
Yeah, the 15 is a little bit more. The stop loss is not that bad.
Yeah.
And, that makes sense.
No worries, mate. Refo, M30, too close to resistance. And it'll look, it might work, but I've got a buy limit set at the 15-minute one lower down. I really like that one. The way it lines up with the previous level it broke out of. To me, that's where I'm going to target an entry. So that's what I'm looking at. I've got a buy limit set at 94,416. That's the high of my broker chart. That's it. But yeah, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Same place. My team, I'll be back with you probably about 45 to an hour from now. I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you all for the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that stuff. TikTok, don't forget to jump across, search, look me up on YouTube. Exact same profile name and comment is it. I start the stream 30 minutes earlier on YouTube, so why not jump across and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sometimes we get a trade in that first 30 minutes, so in your best interest, do trade safe, don't do anything stupid. Again, things are going to happen that could be very crazy with, you know, the moves on all these pairs at the minute because of what's going on over in the Middle East. So do trade safely, guys, and I will catch you tomorrow, and to my team, I'll catch you shortly. I'm in the call now, and cheers, take care, have a good one, till tomorrow, guys. Peace out. I don't even know how to do the sign properly. You guys get the picture. Take care, guys, have a good one. Cheers.